Okay.
Oh yeah, it's time to eat, baby.
Want some? You help me?
Okay, testing. Here we are. Everyone can hear me?
Yes. Here we go.
So the new Venom movie coming out tonight.
So I would like to thank everyone today who came out for this festival. I want to thank all our wonderful speakers. I will introduce shortly. I want to thank American Show for hosting this whole event. They run a really important chicken fund, which is to say like a Tomchei Shabbat for people who can't afford Shabbos and Yom Tov meals. They support them with these food boxes. They're really important. They have to make a donation. There's by the front. I also want to thank the Moatzah of helping sponsor the event, and Yoel Israel, and Israel Tech for also sponsoring this event. Israel Tech is your source for Israeli tech news on any social media platform you like. So check it out online. There's a QR code in the front. And I want to start by, and I'll get started. I want to introduce Maynard Breslow. Maynard is a father and husband. He's an Ole and a serial entrepreneur. He's the chief eminent officer at Mamash Mavericks, which does AI-driven lead generation. And he's also the host of multiple podcasts, including the Dane Discussions, which was voted top 5 podcasts in his industry 3 years in a row.
What industry?
And
Cannabis.
the cannabis industry. And he has a brand new podcast, Mamash Mavericks, where he spotlights Jewish entrepreneurs from the diaspora and Eretz Yisrael. So that's really cool, Maynard. Come on up and tell us about that. Devorah, could you just remind us all what the
schedule?
Oh no,
Oh, the question. Okay, everybody was asked to answer the same question, which is, what have I learned since October 7th, 2023, and how has it changed me and my life?
And I also want to thank Devorah for doing all the organizing for this whole TED Talk set, and it was her brainchild. So thank you all for doing it.
Everybody, thank you, and thanks to Devorah and Gabe for asking me to speak. Hope I can fill it nicely. We have amazing speakers here, so like a comedy act, everybody going. No, it's funny because Gabe introduced here serial entrepreneur, and I do consider entrepreneurship pretty serious, but it's better than being a serial killer, and we're all crazy. But in any case, so talking about October 7th, obviously for all of us changes a lot, and Devorah asked me to maybe include a little bit about family history a little bit, and talk about entrepreneurship. My great-grandparents came actually from Kiev to Mexico City, and like a lot of immigrants, there wasn't really much to do other than to be an entrepreneur. Right, this is something that was done by necessity. Now it's something that a lot of us we look at as it's glamorized and this and now we have to rev ourselves up, and you have to have a certain kind of personality to be an entrepreneur. Back then it was like the things that I just left that I'm coming to now compares nothing. It's so much bigger than entrepreneurship. So whatever's gonna happen to me here, it's so much better than where I left. Right, and it's a lot of them from there. I think for those parents, grandparents, these immigrants, for them it's important to impart education and making entering into the society as a doctor and lawyer and the classic, right? Being an accountant, something that's more stable, something that you can go and you can grow in, and it's something that nowadays is kind of changed a little bit. When my great-grandparents went to Kiev, just to give a little bit of insight, right? This kid right here, Asher Nisim, is actually the first Jewish-born Breslow boy in 100 years. Thank God. My grandfather Maynard Breslow born Jewish in Mexico City, and he married my grandma, who was not Jewish, right? So my father was born not Jewish, and he was born in the same kind of way. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. They owned clothing stores, and my father, same thing. And for my dad, being raised in a home that didn't really have, my grandfather was like very proud to be Jewish. And I really believe that every single Jew has something about Yiddishkeit that they like hold on to, something that they lean into, right? Doesn't always look the same, doesn't always sound the same, and we want people to conform to certain things. And whatever you see a Jew, you see something that's very holy, something that they're very passionate about, that no one else is going to tell them that they're not a Jew, or they're not going to, and you see how many people throughout history, unaffiliated or whatever term you want to use, that were willing to die, right, for their Judaism, right? And the same thing on my mom's side. Who knows what happened over here, but her grandparents are from Spain and France, and her mom was would light candles and take challah, right? And when she asked her, well, why do you do this? She's like, I don't know, my mom did it, I don't know why, right? And just the way that we go around the world and have maintained our identity in such a way, and making that way back, right? So being as though the question is about October 7th, like I said, and tying it into entrepreneurship. This is all I've known my entire life, is entrepreneurship. Like I said, growing up in my dad's stores and going and moving to Mexico City, and he owned a McDonald's there, and going and seeing this life, and really being brought and seeing the good and the not so good that comes along with it, and having a passion for this. And at one time I was, my whole thing was I'm going to go to med school, right? That's like, and 10 years in that, and got into med school, and then came to Israel actually on birthright in 2013, and I was at the hotel, and I'll never forget, I'm sitting there like with tears streaming down my face. I'm like, I'm not going to be a doctor. Like, that's not what I want to do. Like, I want to be a doctor for a little bit so I can go and do what I want to do, and that's to be an entrepreneur. Like, I just want to get my butt kicked for some reason, And that really kind of like set me on a different path, obviously, and it was, like I said, right here in Israel that I was here, and that was also the beginning of my process and everything, and where we are. And fast forward, right, another 10 years, and we made Aliyah, and I made Aliyah when I went back after I decided not to go to medical school, and I was kind of like, all right, I'm going to come back when I'm ready, meaning like I'm, going to have like Parnasa, and I'm going to have something, and I'm going to, right, not going to, and this is the idea that I have. And came back in 2017, and was just like barely getting off the ground of web design and web development, and I've been doing it for a couple years, like I said, since 2013, and just kind of doing this thing, but now I'm trying to like get some momentum and building some sort of business around it. And I mean, my wife here, thank God, and now we have a couple kids here, thank God. Now we're here in Pardes, Hanna, I'm really grateful. But as I mentioned earlier, right, we're in the cannabis industry. And this is something I've been in for a long time, actually, since I was 16 years old. This is one of my first ventures into entrepreneurship, actually. So you can use your imagination of what I was doing in that so-called industry, right, and what was going on. And
You began as consumer.
yes, we began as a consumer, and then the people that I was buying from were graduated from high school. And I said, well, if they're leaving, who's going to be providing for the school next year? Someone's got to do it. So it's crazy because my mom's here laughing, poor thing, right? It was like something that I had to hide. I had to hide. And then what happens is it's on my LinkedIn, later on, now it's the industry, and my wife's like, my mom's like, oh, look at my son, he's in the cannabis industry, they're making a lot of money, blah, blah. Poor thing, when broke her heart, when first time she found out, that was crazy. But right? So being in this industry that I had been connected to earlier on in my life and seeing, okay, great, this thing's growing and we have a place here and I know the lingo and I know how to navigate through it and I know how to meet people, I know what people are like in this industry. And for a little bit, maybe about a year before October 7th already, it was just not where I'm at, not where my heart's at, not where I am at as a person, not where I'm at as a Jew, not where I'm at in my commitment. It was almost like compartmentalized, where my life is really what I'm connected to is my Yiddishkeit and my family and my community and being able to connect with other people in this life. And it was just like, but the rest of the time I'm online and I'm talking to people about cannabis all day. And then, October 7th happened. And it was just like, for all of us, obviously, the impact, there's no words to really even describe, to try and bring it out, like what we all felt, and trying to do whatever we could. And, thank God I was part of this little group over there, and I was, trying to raise money for Best, and I didn't have much of a hand in it, but I can say I was in the group where we raised $180,000 in a matter of a few weeks, and were able to smuggle in a bunch of vests and a bunch of helmets and a bunch of tactical gear and whatever else was needed. And it just was like, hit me in such a way where like, what am I actually doing? What am I doing? What am I gonna spend the rest of my life doing? I'm gonna be here, and it could be anything. I could be, like the whole mashal about, I've met a Jew with his foot in his shoe. I've never met with his cup in his shoe. Where you can do anything. Where like even shoemaking, you're just thinking about shoemaking and this. What are you actually doing in the world? How are you connecting, and how are you making the mundane into a place for Hashem to come into? Right? It's not just about like compartmentalizing. How can I welcome in Hashem into everything that I'm doing, everywhere that I'm at? Right? And how can I make the world a better place while I'm also doing something I enjoy and making good money doing it? And so this was, my wife, with helping my wife, everything is always, we're doing this together, I have like a certain vision and she helps like with the creative direction, so to speak, and like what it looks like and the rebranding and all this stuff. And we decided, you know what? We're out of cannabis. If I had to restart over right now, what would I do differently? Knowing what I know now that I didn't know back then when I first started. Right? And so we knew that we had a really good system that we were using for ourselves, that we could use for other people in terms of lead generation. But now where are we going to go with it? And like I said, with this impact that I felt on being able to be part of a group that raised money and being able to really contribute to people who need the impact the most and are being impacted, right? I mean, we wanted a soldier from Miluim to be here speaking to you, and that would have a lot more impact because they were really impacted. And so for me, it was about, look at the Jewish people. We're always going through this cycle of we go out there and we're amongst the nations, and there's certain times in the world we have to circle the wagons a little bit. And we have to focus on each other and protecting ourselves, protecting each other. And it's very clear that we're in that kind of stage right now. And not to say we don't have amazing allies over the world, and there's a very loud minority, and they really are the minority, right? That it looks like that there's darkness in the world, but really it's just a darkness like trying to gain as much power, and we know that Hashem creates everything equal. So as much as you see all this negativity, there's so much light that's being brought in, so much amazing that's being brought in. For me, Momish Mavericks came out of that desire, right? That wanting to focus on other Jewish entrepreneurs and to highlight other Jewish entrepreneurs and to show the beauty that what we're doing in the world. And it's been fantastic because the conversation that we're having now are exactly in alignment with where I'm at in life and where they seem to be, no matter how they present themselves to the world as Jews, whatever that means, right? To hear the passion from people, all walks of life, all over the world, what Yiddishkeit means to them. And that's one of my questions, like, what does it mean to you to be a Jew? You know, and how does your relationship with Judaism, how does that play into your business, and how do your values align with that? And this has been much more rewarding in the sense where this is where we came from, this is what we've had to do across the world throughout time, and you see people from, like I said, all over the place as entrepreneurs, and we're still here, we're still stronger than ever, and we're even stronger than ever actually, because we're connected. And this is the main thing that we have to achieve in this time is connection. That we're right here before Rosh Hashanah, and it's like, good kapitul. It's being sent off, here we are, it's like, what is, and we still have a chance, we're gonna send off the letter. You want anything you wanna change? And we talk about the book of life, like what is the book of life? Is it just like I'm gonna live? I'm just gonna make it to another year? That's not life at all. Life is being connected. Life is having something that you feel compassionate about, and you feel connected about, and having something that you feel is worth it. And I have my amazing son here, and it's so worth it. I have amazing new daughter, so worth it. And I have amazing relationships that we're always fostering, new ones. And my connection with the Eibishter, right? This is so important. How connected am I? I can be in business and be making money and I'm disconnected. And I can be in business making money and we're connected and we're doing good things. We're doing good things for other people and for the community. So we should continue to really just see that connection flourish for every single one of us, that all of us should continue to grow and all of us should continue to feel like we're on the path, and that this year, that's what it should be, inscribed, sealed, delivered for the book of life, meaning that we're connected in every single moment, very, very, very much high consciousness, mature consciousness, Ochin de Gadlus, and to feel this and to enjoy it with ourselves, with our loved ones, with each other, and to have a good time doing it and make a lot of money doing it.